All right, Angela Giles here, and I am so excited to welcome Viveka von Rosen to the Femme Marketing Symposium. She is amazing. I cannot wait for her to share her gems with you today. I just am thrilled that she is here with us. Before we dive in, because I have so many questions for her today, and I know that she's going to share with you like a golden nugget. There are probably tons of golden nuggets, as I like to call them, throughout our interview today. But before we dive in, I want to share with you a little bit about her. Viveka is co-founder and CVO, Chief Visibility Officer. I like that. Of Vengresso, the largest full-spectrum digital sales provider in the world, known internationally as the LinkedIn expert. She's the author of the best-selling LinkedIn Marketing an Hour a Day. Love that. LinkedIn 100 Ways to Rock Your Personal Brand. See, I call her LinkedIn Queen, but you know, she doesn't know that I stalk her sometimes. In a fun way, right?
In a fun, totally,
yeah. Weird way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As a contributing expert to LinkedIn's official sales and marketing blogs and their sophisticated marketer's guide, she's often called on to contribute to publications like Fast Company, Forbes, Money, Entrepreneur, the Social Media Examiner, etc. Viveka takes the LinkedIn experience she has perfected over the past 10 years and transforms it into engaging and informational training. She's provided over 100,000 people with the tools and strategies.
That's why I got bags under my
eyes. She's so cute. I'm like, you can't be a day over 30. Come on.
Way over 30, but thank you.
Fabulous.
Good lighting.
On your neck. See, I'm starting to get those, right?
It's the lighting. We were just talking about, like, I got on and I've been nonstop all day, as has Angela, and we're like, guys, don't worry about it. Like, they don't care. They just put a ball cap on and maybe blow their noses. We're like, oh, is my makeup okay? Like, the hair.
Yep, and there's
no
gray showing.
Exactly.
Or if you're younger, make sure that like there's no weird things out of place, right? So, so what we're going to talk about today is social selling is not a dirty word.
Yes.
And if it is, talk dirty to me. How to use LinkedIn to attract, connect, and engage and build your business. And I tell you what, I think LinkedIn is an amazing tool, and I use it in my business, but probably not as much as I should. And so I'm excited to learn even more from you today and what you can bring to viewers. And I'm so excited for them to begin following you and engaging with you and being.
Oh, thank you.
So the very first question is, what is social selling?
Yeah, so social selling is just a way of using, and it's not just LinkedIn, of course, it's just that I happen to focus on LinkedIn, but social selling includes all social. And it's a way of pulling your personal brand, your company brand, your content together to create an atmosphere where you're able to attract, both do inbound and outbound marketing, right? So it's the combination of branding, marketing, content marketing, and lead generation. But the real focus on social selling and the reason why the social aspect of it is because it allows us to use these different platforms as forums where we can position ourselves as experts and really just create and share resources with people, which in turn builds their KLT, their know, like, and trust factor with us, right? Because as Bob Berg says, all things being equal, people do business with people and buy from people and refer people that they know, like, and trust. So it's really just using social to create a platform where you're perceived as a knowledgeable expert in your field, which then attracts your audience to you to buy from you in the end.
Well, exactly. And I can definitely say with my stalking capability, I'm just having fun because I like to have fun, right?
Absolutely.
We're in the social marketing arena, right? So
yeah.
I definitely say, you know what you're doing, right? Social selling, especially, I mean, LinkedIn, wow. So how does social selling differ from, say, lead gen or content marketing on LinkedIn? Because I think there is a differentiation.
There is, and social selling is really the use of everything. You know, and you mentioned before I stalk you, right? Which is awesome. I love to be stalked, except for by my ex-boyfriend, not him. But in most cases, stalking is good. Social stalking is good. But the fact is the buyer's journey has changed, right? So our buyers are stalking us, right? They're researching us on LinkedIn. They're researching us on Google. And they usually get more access to us through Google and through LinkedIn. And so that's where they're finding us. That's where they're looking at us. That's where they're looking at the types of people that we are. And I'm talking mostly about sales and marketing professionals here, not necessarily, non-customer facing engineers in the back room of a large corporation somewhere. But definitely for sales and marketing professionals, we're customer and consumer facing, and our customers and consumers, our buyers, are stalking us. They're looking at us. And so it is paramount that we have a strong personal brand. That's really the first part of social selling, is make sure you look good.
Okay.
Because if they go to your, exactly, make sure you look good. Because if they go to your profile, and I want to talk about that in just one second, if they go to your profile and there's nothing there, you're like a ghost, that does nothing to instill any kind of sense of trust. So now going like this, right? So the other thing is, and this is true for men and women, but I think women are more concerned about it than men are. A lot of times we'll put a photo of ourselves up that's maybe from 20, 25 years ago because we thought we looked better then, right? Or it's been so photoshopped that you wouldn't recognize me at a trade show or at a conference or across the table from you in your, in your office or my office. And so we need to make sure when we're creating that personal brand that it is authentic. Now I'm a fan of big lighting and good lighting. Right. Like if I get really close, you can see the wrinkles, but I'm a fan of good lighting, but pretty much if you walked into my office right now, this is what I would look like. And so especially for women, because we're more concerned about these things, please, when you upload your photo on LinkedIn, make sure it resembles you.
Not from the 1970s.
Exactly. And it's hard for us because sometimes we have bangs, sometimes we don't have bangs, sometimes we wear our glasses, These major hair, body shape, eyeglass, major changes like that, you need to get a new photo up so people recognize you.
Really, you can get great headshots for very inexpensive, right? And the headshots,
worst case scenario, take a gazillion, you ever have someone take a gazillion photos of you and just choose the best one.
Exactly. Yeah. So where do you feel like people go wrong with social selling?
They go right into the sales pitch. I was working with a client yesterday, and he sent me the letters he usually sends out on LinkedIn, and I'm like, dude, buy me a drink first. Like, hi, my name's Alec, and you should totally buy my stuff. And that just doesn't work. It's not that we all know we're on LinkedIn to buy and sell, right? Or to provide services or whatever it is. We get that. This is a business networking site. This isn't a dating site. This isn't Facebook. This isn't Instagram. We are on LinkedIn to do business. But seriously, like, take a minute or two to get to know your prospect. So one of the things that I recommend is when you send an invite, actually look at their profile first. Also, they'll be able to see that you looked at their profile. Don't address them, like don't get their names, don't misspell their name. And Siri sometimes, to blame for that, but try not to misspell their name. Know what their sex is. I get a lot of, because my name is actually also a very popular male Indian name, Vivek, right? So I get a lot of dear sirs, usually from overseas. Pretty sure if you look at me, I don't,
I wouldn't think so. I love that lipstick shade there.
Thank you. That's so, but you need to show your buyer, your prospect, that you've taken a little time and investigated them. Maybe look at their profile, see what kind of media they have up, see links, maybe go visit their website. And yes, this might take 5 minutes, and you can use tools like Nimble to even import all of that information onto one screen for you.
So you just gave this amazing golden nugget, Nimble?
Yeah. Nimble, yeah. So nimble.com, it's a social CRM system. It is fantastic. It's the only one right now that works well with LinkedIn, because there's a Chrome extension that allows you to pull some of the information into your CRM system. There are a lot of great CRMs out there, you know, and if you use a good one, Salesforce, Zoho, Sugar, you know, continue to use those. I'm not saying switch over, but what I like about Nimble is this Chrome extension. So no matter where I am, it doesn't have to be just on LinkedIn. It can be on Facebook, on Google, on Twitter. My favorite little ninja hack that John shared with me, he's the CEO, is when you're looking at like HuffPost or Entrepreneur, or, you know, any online blog, you can you can use Nimble, scroll over the writer's byline and pull up all of their information so that you can reach out to them and become a trusted source for them. Isn't that a nifty idea?
So
And
how do you spell Nimble? N-I...
Nimble.
Oh.
Nimble.com. Yeah, yeah. Now it's just went up. I think it's $25 a month, so it's not free, but they are talking about making the Chrome extension free, which will still give you all that rich information. You just won't have anywhere to put it. You'll have to, you know, make note of that yourself. But yeah, they're talking about making the Chrome extension free. And if you are a Microsoft person, so if you use 365, it's now a free plugin on Microsoft Edge, which I don't use.
Really?
But if you do,
yeah,
it's pretty handy.
See, this is amazing. Oh my God. That's awesome. So you had mentioned creating a powerful personal brand.
Yep.
How do you do that? Like, so you talked about your picture.
Good pictures, important. Yeah. There's a couple visual elements. I'll hit those, and then the copy or the text part. Background image. We wouldn't dream of having a company page on Facebook or on Twitter or on YouTube and not have that background image. Right. And yet a lot of people don't bother with that. Now I get it. The old template as of like 2 weeks ago was really complicated, and it was really frustrating. People were just like, I'm not going to do it. Now it's very simple. It's like 1384 by 396 pixels. It's just a rectangle, but get a background image up behind your photo on LinkedIn. You know, if you can, get your logo on there, get your contact information on there, put a call to action on there, put your tagline, you know, use your branded colors. Easy to do if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, small business owner, you own your own business, right? You might need to get permission. If you're a sales person for a bigger corporation, you might need to get their permission to add their logo. Or just leave it off. And you can use something like Fiverr, Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, to create a background image for $5. Like, there's no excuse not to have a background image that reflects your brand.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So Fiverr.com, it's 13, I'm probably off by a couple pixels. It won't matter. I think it's 1384 by 396 pixels. Yeah, and so that will make a difference. Uploading a picture that actually looks like you will make a difference. The add media, so you can add YouTube videos, Vimeo videos, PDFs, JPEGs, slide share presentations, PowerPoint presentations. So you can add all of this different type of media. So if you've got a brochure, if you've got a product demo, if you've got a written testimonial, if you've got a verbal testimonial, if you've got a video testimonial, you've got a podcast, you've got, like, think about all the resources that you have in your business right now. You can add those resources as media to your summary section, to your experience section, to your education even. So you've got a lot of opportunity there. Which then brings me to the written part. So that's all visual. The written part is your professional headline, that little section right underneath your name, right? Most people have title at company. That tells me nothing. In most, sales dude or sales gal over at Oracle. Okay, for what, right? MySQL, DB, like what do you do? OEM? Are you enterprise? Are you know, like, what do you do? So you want to go into a little bit more detail about what it is that you offer, who you serve, so that they can self-identify when they see that. And between the headline, your name, the professional headline, and your picture, that's what most people see on mobile or when they're engaging with you, right?
Right.
Right. So you gotta make sure that says something. And then you can expand upon that in the summary section. You've got 2,000 characters to really expand upon who you are, what you do, but most importantly, who you serve and how you can help them. And if you do it in a Word document first, it catches spelling errors. Like, I use Grammarly is another tool I use, just the free version, Grammarly, Grammarly. Fantastic. If you're not, you need to download it. I'm a good, no. Yeah, well, I'm an okay speller. I was an English major, so it's not that. It's my fat fingers, and my typing is horrendous because I kind of skipped that class. And so I have all these spelling errors, whatever, usually when I'm screen sharing with people. And those things look really, really bad, and Grammarly catches it as long as it's on a browser. So Grammarly, do it in a Word document first. That way you can add bullets in, you can add some very basic formatting like spacing. You can do a character count so you know when you're close to that 2,000 characters. All of that makes you look more professional. And then of course the content itself is important, which is always should be focused on who your client is and what their needs are and how you serve them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So there you go.
So content marketing sounds like a good idea, right?
Yeah.
But how about the people who don't write?
Who don't write content, exactly. If you write content, LinkedIn Publisher, you need to be using it. And the super magic ninja trick to LinkedIn Publisher is after you publish it, continue to share that article as an update. You could do it daily, honestly. LinkedIn's timeline's a little bit like Twitter, so it's okay if you share it more than, once a week, but always continue to share your long form posts as an article. Now, for those of you who don't write content, yeah, that's all well and good, Viveka. I don't write, right? I don't even think about it. Well, if you create content another way, right? You do a podcast, a vlogger, you do interview, whatever. If you create content a different way, you can always take that non-written content and turn it into written content. I use a tool called rev.com, rev.com. And actually I'm about to, if I can find it here, a friend of mine just told me about a new free tool. That one's $1 a minute per transcription. And most of my interviews and such are like 5-6 minutes, but it's enough copy that it makes the post meatier. So if you don't do that, though, you're like, well, that's all well and good for people who blog or vlog or podcast, but I don't do that either. The other thing you can do is become a curator of content. And this is really my ninja trick. So, and this works really well, especially for sales and marketing professionals. If you have some high-level influencers, C-suite at a company that you want to work with, or just influencers in an industry that you want to become more known in, identify those influencers on LinkedIn, reach out to them. If you can, if you can get them to connect with you, even better, but, maybe splurge on an in-mail, but send them a message and say, hey, I'm writing this article on top leadership tips from top leaders in this industry. You are absolutely one of them. I've been a fan of yours for a long time. Could you answer this question? What is your best leadership tip, or what was the one leadership tip that most affected your life, or whatever, right? They answer it. You copy and paste it into a Word document. You link that article back to them. You get 5 or 6 other people and do the same thing, and then you post that article. It might take you an hour, right? You post that article, and when you post it, you tag them. You just at influencer's name, at CXO's name. You tag them in the post. They're notified that you just shared this post. Of course, I would send them a private message too and say, hey, your post just, went live today. I thought you might like it. Copy and paste the link in there, make it easy for them. But now you've gotten in touch with your influencer for something other than selling them.
Right.
You've done something nice for them.
Right.
But not only that, now chances are they're going to share it. So now you've been shown to their audience, and when you pick up the phone next time, maybe you ask them for another quote, and then the third time you say, hey, by the way, I noticed that your LinkedIn profile sucked. You really need to talk to me as a LinkedIn expert, right? But you've got a bunch of, yeah.
Brilliant. Woo.
Woo! Now I got all kinds of paper. I got to find that one. There's a transcription service. I use paper still, guys. There's a transcription service. I think it's called Procaster.com. That a friend of mine, Procaster.com, I believe that's it. I'm not finding the actual where I took the note, but Procaster.com does podcast transcription for free. I don't even, how do you do that? Like
Procaster?
I think it's Procaster or ProBlogcaster. I'll try and find the actual link somewhere, and I'll get it to you so you've got it for the show notes. But yeah, a friend of mine who's a big podcaster, Phil Gerbyshak, was just telling me about it. I thought, oh, that's cool. But it is only for podcasts. You put your podcast RSS feed in there and they transcribe it for you for free.
That's freaking amazing.
I know. That was so cool. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm like, that is a resource that I've got to take a look at later.
I wonder how they make money. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, probably advertising or something like that. Who knows? But yeah. Handy little tricks and tips that you learn from people you talk to every day, right?
That's brilliant. So talk to me about lead gen then. So how do you get leads? Like, get some ninja tricks?
Yeah, so the main thing, like I can pretty much guarantee you if you've got more than 20 connections on LinkedIn, you've got a connection that you can build your business around in some way, shape, or form, right? You've got a potential customer or client there. So the problem is people, A, don't know who they have in their network, B, have no way of managing that network, and C, don't follow up with them in any kind of regular way. So they're not building that know, like, and trust factor. So I personally use Sales Navigator, but that's $79 a month in order to find the highest quality leads. I manage them by using tagging, which is similar to like Facebook lists or Twitter lists, right? It's a way of sorting, assigning a tag and then sorting your network. And then I follow up with them, usually with private messages, but sometimes, just likes and shares on their content. But there's a cool free tool called Duck Soup. It's a Chrome extension, DUX-SOUP, Duck Soup. And it allows you to take notes and to tag your network on LinkedIn. LinkedIn used to have that feature, and then they took it away and put it in Sales Navigator. And a lot of people were like, ah! So at least Duck Soup works, and it's free. You can pay $15 a month to export that information, but you really don't need to.
Wow. That's amazing.
That is really key, is having a way of managing. The thing I tell people to do is go into LinkedIn's, I'm not a huge fan of the new search on LinkedIn, but go into the search, put in some keywords into the search bar, and then sort by first level connections, and then go through and open up each, take a couple hours, do it while you're binge watching the newest season of, House of Cards or whatever. So, go through and look at their profiles. They'll see that you viewed their profiles. Maybe reach out with them with a private message. Hey, it's been ages. How you doing? And then tag them using Duck Soup, or if you want to use Sales Navigator, or if you use Nimble, you can tag them. You can export them into Nimble and tag them there. But tag them in such a way that you can, if you go, oh my gosh, who are my, sales professionals in my network? Oh, just look under the Sales Pro, Sales Pro prospect tag, and there they all are. Oh, I need to reach back out to such and such and such, right? So managing and keeping in touch with your connections on LinkedIn, that's how you do effective lead generation. Because
Wow.
So.
That's just brilliant. Wow. I mean, you have so many golden nuggets and ninja tricks. I mean, wow. This is what I'm telling you. Like, your interview is going to be the hottest one on the list.
You say that to all the girls.
I don't. I'm like, I thought I knew LinkedIn like fairly well, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know, and I didn't know that. This is why I have you, right? See, perfect.
This is why I have a job. It's not intuitive. LinkedIn is, even though the new user interface looks much more intuitive, and in some ways it is, because it's aligned with the mobile app, there's still so many, tricks and tips and hidden features, and there's so much that you can still do with it that most people don't even realize.
With that in mind, do you have any other tips for us?
Oh my God, so many. So the newest thing I found on LinkedIn is in settings. And so there is a new setting. So if you look under the little Me section, and right now I believe you can only do this on the browser. I didn't see it on mobile when I looked at it for it the other day. But under the Me in the browser, you go into the security and settings section. In the main one, in the account setting, it goes, what's it say? Adjust your feed, I think is what it says. I should just pop in there right now and look and see. But what it allows you to do, what's really cool is when you go in there, LinkedIn looks at your activity. It looks at the content that you're sharing, and it looks at your profile itself, and it goes, oh, okay, so Viveka, you're clearly interested in sales and marketing and social selling, etc. And so it actually gives me people that I can follow, people and channels that I can follow. It's a little bit like LinkedIn's old Pulse channels, which they're phasing out. So this is the new version of that, right?
Oh, wow. I actually knew something. I feel
Feed, there you go, exactly. So it's called feed preferences. That's what it is. And it's under accounts. It's under your settings. Okay. And those feed preferences are so cool. And actually, I can pop that into the chat box right now so we can put it in the show notes. Okay. But it's such a cool little tool. It takes forever to load, at least right now. It takes forever to load, so we'll see.
Well, you know that you mentioned that. One of the things I was going to go back and ask you is I noticed, and this is not my, it's always seemed to have been a problem on and off with LinkedIn, is their search capability when you're like, like it will scroll down and then it stops.
And then it stops.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that LinkedIn's nephew just coded the last user interface. Seriously, I know they're really, really smart, and I've got a lot of friends over at LinkedIn, and you know, I generally love the program, but there are some things like you can't you can kind of customize your web links, but you can see there's just some really silly things that there's some glitches they haven't quite figured out yet, honestly. Yeah.
So can you, typically I ask people, well, let's go to that question next.
Yeah.
How do people find you or follow you, right?
Yeah.
I'm a stalker, but how do you,
So here's another ninja trick. If you haven't customized your LinkedIn URL yet, when you're in edit mode on the right-hand side, it's just a public profile edit. That's how Google finds you. Never mind LinkedIn. That's how Google finds you. So I was very fortunate. I found this little tool out like 10 years ago, and I got the name LinkedIn Expert. So if you Google, this is for me personally, if you Google LinkedIn Expert, like Google it, not on LinkedIn, Google LinkedIn Expert, my LinkedIn profile shows up first. And I hope it always does. I mean, if I had to pay for that kind of SEO, it would be insane. That's probably $50,000, $60,000 a year of business that I get because people see my LinkedIn, right?
Type in like whatever.
Yeah, so you should check and see if your area of expertise is still available. Like I said, this has been available for 10 years, so it's unlikely if you're like a marketing expert or sales expert, right? But if you've got a very niche industry, one of my clients, she's so cool. She's an expat rebranding expert. So for people who are leaving South America and going to Australia, she uses LinkedIn to help them rebrand themselves so that they can get that, they can get the ability to leave. So I know there's a term for that, and I'm just spacing it right now. So, you know, she would be expat LinkedIn expert, and she could probably get that. So check to see if your area of expertise is available.
Your settings, you said?
That is when you're in, it's both in your settings. So that would be under your privacy setting, I believe. Let me just double check that for you. You'd think I'd have all this at the top of my head. So that's under your privacy setting, and it would just be the link that says edit your public profile. It's the first link under your privacy setting. Or if you're just in edit mode, on the right-hand side, up near the top, it says edit your public profile. And if you just click on that link, it'll take you into your profile settings mode. And I will also put that link so you can go just straight to it in the chat box for you as well.
Awesome. Wonderful. So how people follow up with you? Do you want them to look on LinkedIn, go to your website?
So the best way, because I'm another thing about LinkedIn is it's capped out at 30,000 connections, which I've been at for a few years. So my poor assistant has to go through and delete people every day so I can accept new people. If you want to invite me to connect on LinkedIn, I'd be thrilled. Just customize the invitation, or she'll just send you a message that says Viveka's at her 30,000. Tell me why you want to connect. So it'll be easier if you just customize the information. I was listening to you on Angela's show, and I'd really like to, you know, connect. But my email address is the best way still. It's viveka@vengresso.com, Viveka @vengresso.com, Vengresso. .com. And I just want to say, by the way, this is our new company. We just launched back in June.
Okay.
And yes, brand new. And you are the first person who's read my new bio.
What?
Yeah, since we became Vengresso. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Yay. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I like fun people because, you know, we work hard, which is fabulous and all that, but you also have to like smell the roses and have fun, right? Like,
Exactly. You have to do both. Otherwise, life is boring.
it really is. So
Yeah.
can you describe your free giveaway to us?
Yeah, so the free giveaway is seven deadly mistakes on LinkedIn and how they're costing you money, and the solution. So it's not just the problems. You know, like you said in the bio, you know, I've literally worked with over 100,000 people and one-on-one with over 5,000 people, probably more like 10,000 people. And like all of them make the same, you know, 2 or 3 mistakes. So I kind of gathered the most common mistakes into one ebook. Many of what we've talked about today and solutions, like the ebook will actually show you how to customize your LinkedIn URL, amongst other things, how to create a good summary section in a Word document. So it actually covers a lot of what we talked about today. But yeah, everyone makes the same mistakes. And the problem is, as we mentioned at the very beginning with the personal branding, it can really affect the way people look at you and look at your profile, and they judge you, and you might lose business because of it. So I created the ebook for that very reason, and it's free.
That's amazing. I'm so grateful. So I
Thanks.
have one last question for you, and
Sure.
we'll definitely have the download on the page. So
Yeah.
go there and download. And
Of course.
amazing lady.
Thanks.
You have given us so many great tips. I mean, wow, it's great. Is there one tip, like one clear takeaway that out of everything you shared, or even something new that you feel like they could take away from this, like get off from listening to you and go do right now?
It's not so much in action, because I think I've given you enough actions. This is really more mindset. And the biggest mistake I see people making on LinkedIn is trying to be everything for everyone, and you can't. Pick a lane, right? And so know your area of expertise and know who you serve. And really, when everything you're doing on LinkedIn, whether it's your branding, whether it's content you're writing, whether it's your outreach, everything you do should be focused on how can I serve you, but you have to know who that you is. You know, you get people go, I can help anyone with a face, I can help anyone with a computer. You know, then you can't help anyone.
No,
the more focused you are, like my client Shalene, right? She helps expats use LinkedIn to get placement in other countries. Like, I mean, that's as niche as you can get. But yeah, so really know who your audience is. And if you don't know, then just imagine, like, who do you really want to be working with? We all have the 80-20, right? We all have the 20, those clients of ours that, you know, the 20% of our clients that take up 80% of our time. Let's just switcheroo that and think about those ideal folks and who you want to connect with and engage with.
Well, this has been amazing, Viveka.
Thanks.
I encourage all of you that have been listening to follow Viveka. She's amazing. Get in touch with her and download her free gift and become part of her tribe.
Thanks.
And you can become a part of her stocking like I do.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing I really like about you. You always put out these like really cool just pieces of information.
Oh, thank you.
You're a radical giver, and I really like that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You really, yeah. And that's why I like you, and that's why I follow you and like to see your stuff when you put it out.
Thank you.
Well, it comes back, right?
Yeah,
it's a way of giving and really getting exposure, but it comes back.
It does.
And it makes a huge difference. And I'm all about making global. I love the whole global lifestyle. I love making global impact. And when you radically give like you do, it comes back around. And so ripple effect, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Viveka.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Have an incredible day.
Thank you.
We will talk again soon. I'm excited.
Me too. Thank you so much.